Imagine a jaw so powerful, it could crush bone like paper, tear through flesh in milliseconds, and bite down harder than any predator alive today. Now imagine that jaw belonged to a creature towering over trucks with teeth the size of bananas, and it wasn't even the strongest of its kind. What if I told you that some prehistoric predators didn't just bite, they shattered, sliced, and pulverized anything in their path? From the terrifying T-Rex to the armor-cracking Deinosuchus, prehistoric jaws weren't just strong, they were biomechanical nightmares forged by millions of years of evolution. So, how strong were they really? Let's dive into the jaw-dropping truth, pun absolutely intended. Before we unleash the bite force of these ancient beasts, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and tell me in the comments, where are you watching from today? I'd love to know. What makes a jaw powerful in the first place? When we talk about jaw strength, we're not just talking about big teeth or loud roars. A powerful jaw is the result of several key factors: muscle mass, bite mechanics, skull design, and leverage. In fact, some modern creatures, like the crocodile, owe their crushing power to how well these elements work together. In prehistoric times, evolution was ruthless. The creatures that dominated the food chain weren't just big, they were efficient. Their jaws had to crush bones to extract marrow, hold on to thrashing prey, and tear through armor like skin. Jaw power wasn't just about survival, it was about dominance. For dinosaurs and ancient reptiles, jaw muscles often extended far back behind the skull, giving them tremendous mechanical advantage. The position and depth of the temporal fenestrae, those openings in the skull behind the eyes, allowed for thicker, more powerful muscle attachments. And let's not forget tooth design: serrated edges for slicing, cone-shaped teeth for piercing, flat crushing teeth for plants or shells. Every detail mattered. So before we compare species, we need to understand that bite force isn't just about brute size. It's about how evolution weaponized anatomy. The Tyrannosaurus rex, king of the bite. The Tyrannosaurus rex didn't just rule the land, it ruled with its jaws. Based on the latest biomechanical models, scientists estimate the T-Rex could exert a bite force of up to 12,800 pounds per square inch, PSI. That's more than a saltwater crocodile, more than a lion, more than any land animal ever. How is that possible? First, the T-Rex had incredibly robust skull bones, fused to withstand intense pressure. Its teeth were banana-sized, cone-shaped, and slightly serrated, built not just to puncture flesh, but to crush bone. The T-Rex's jaw muscles were massive and anchored deeply into the back of its skull. It had a puncture and pull feeding style: bite deep, yank back, and rip out huge chunks. What's more terrifying? Some fossils show healed bite marks from other T-Rexes, meaning they sometimes bit each other. Yes, even other T-Rexes were on the menu. Its bite wasn't just strong, it was surgical, designed to cause massive trauma in one strike. Fun fact, if a T-Rex bit down on a car door, it could crumple the metal like tinfoil. Dinosuchus, the crocodile that ate dinosaurs. While T-Rex ruled the land, Deinosuchus dominated the rivers and swamps. Deinosuchus, meaning terrible crocodile, lived around 80 million years ago and grew up to 35 feet long. That's longer than a school bus. But what truly made it terrifying? Its jaw strength. Scientists estimate its bite force may have exceeded 20,000 psi, making it arguably the strongest bite in prehistoric history. Its skull was massive, broad and thick, with deep-set muscle attachments and rows of conical teeth, perfect for grabbing and holding struggling prey. And it didn't just eat fish. Fossil evidence suggests Deinosuchus preyed on dinosaurs that came too close to the water. Bite marks found on fossilized hadrosaur bones match the exact spacing of Deinosuchus's teeth. Its ambush strategy: wait just below the surface, silent, motionless, then explode upward, jaws snapping shut with crushing force. No scream, no struggle, just jaws and silence. Other jaw titans: Megalodon, Allosaurus, and more. Not all prehistoric jaw legends walk the earth. Meet Megalodon, the ancient shark that ruled the oceans. At over 50 feet long, Megalodon had teeth the size of a human hand and a bite force of up to 40,000 psi. That's enough to bite a whale in half. Now meet Allosaurus, a terrifying predator that used its jaws more like a hatchet than a vice. Unlike T-Rex, Allosaurus had a weaker bite force but compensated with slashing teeth and a flexible skull that allowed it to strike fast and repeatedly like a battle axe. And don't forget Gorgonopsids, saber-toothed predators that roamed before the dinosaurs. Their jaws could open ridiculously wide, almost 90 degrees, delivering deep, slicing bites. Each of these creatures had a unique way of using their jaws. Megalodon, crushing and tearing in open water. To Allosaurus, hit-and-run slashing. At Gorgonopsid, ambush and dismember. The takeaway? Prehistoric jaw power came in many terrifying forms. The science behind the numbers. How do we even know how strong a dinosaur's bite was? Scientists use biomechanical modeling, fossil measurements, and comparisons with modern animals. By digitally reconstructing skulls and simulating muscle placement, they can estimate force based on leverage and contact area. They also look at fossil damage, bones with puncture wounds, crushed marrow, healed bite marks. These are real-world signs of how devastating a bite could be. Additionally, finite element analysis, FEA, lets researchers simulate stress across different parts of a skull, identifying which species could withstand higher forces without snapping their own bones. Even though we'll never watch a real T-Rex bite in slow motion, the science lets us get incredibly close to the truth. And that truth is clear. Prehistoric jaws weren't just strong, they were weapons of precision, evolution, and raw dominance. So, how strong were prehistoric dinosaur jaws? Strong enough to crush bone, strong enough to tear through tanks, if they had existed, strong enough to rule an entire era of Earth's history through bite alone. From the swampy ambushes of Deinosuchus to the bone-crushing brutality of T-Rex, these jaws weren't just tools, they were evolutionary sledgehammers. If this blew your mind, imagine what we'll discover next. Hit that like button, subscribe for more prehistoric power, and don't forget to comment. Which dinosaur do you think had the deadliest jaws of all time? We'll see you in the next episode, where the past bites back.